Swagatam. Budhavasarah. Today is Wednesday, 11th of April. Dinankaha Ekadashaha. Mangalacharanam Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishacharachamu Ramayatasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Paratram Ramasya Dasvasmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhutame Bhorama Mamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattalyam Rama Nama Varandane Shri Rama Nama Varandana Om Nama Iti Atha Shri Maheshwara Sutrani Oyi Urn Rulruk E Ong Ai Auch Hayavarat Lanya Nyamanga Na Nam Jabang Garadash Jabagaradash Kapha Chacha Chacha Tau Kapai Sha Sar Hal Iti Maheshwara Sutrani. Corrections from last time. Shuddhi Karanam. I think, okay, in this we are on page number 152. Teti kranditam akaranya vishanyastasyan vishyan vetasagudham prabhavam saha. This is the second shloka on this page. So in the original, it is the verse number 75 in the Kavyam. Oh, Nagaraj has a question. Yes?
Sorry, I made a mistake because I thought
okay.
the screen was not coming, so I just touched the screen.
Oh, good. No problem. So this Prabhavam, so we translated that as the origin tasya, so Kranditasya Prabhavam, so Anvishyan, so seeking the source of that screen. That's what we made it there. So with Prabhavaha, we took it as a sense of bhave, the source. And one other way to take it here is that Smatiti Prabhavaha, Prabhavatya Smatiti Prabhavaha, Panchami. You know, what I'm trying to get to is that we've set these two rules, which we have, which is 3, 3, 18, and 19. 3, 3, 18, 19. As we said in the class many times, is that in what meaning is that pratyaya coming? Kasmin arthe. What is the vipaksha? So that we have to always keep an eye on that. We got the word Prabhavaha by adding the pratyaya, it's back from verbal roots in the Ashtadhyaya, mainly in 3.3. In 3, and then that is where Panini forms these nouns from verbal roots. And the first thing Panini does is he forms these masculine nouns. And their default pratyaya, there is this ghani pratyaya. But then, and they come in the sense of bhave, or akartricha karake sanyayam. So we have these two rules, very important. Bhave mostly people know it's called an abstract noun. It's called an abstract noun. So you can say, so prabhu, when it says is to come into being, or to to take place, to take birth. So prabhavaha. So prabhavaha is we can say origin, to take origin. So originating. You take originating. The act of originating is prabhavaha. The act of prabhavaha. So that is bhave. Bhave means expresses the sense of the action, whatever the action of the verb is. So we say we say dhatu pat is so pataha. So pataha could be the act of reading. Reading is pataha. But then it could also be patha is a text, that which is read. Pachyate iti patha. Now how do we get the second meaning, pachyate iti patha? That is because the next sutra, which is very important, we are reading now. So this adhikara of bhave, along to all the way up to this prakaranam, which is starting from here. So this adhikara ends from up to here, which is 331 tapumsake bhave taha. So it has, including the feminine form used in bhave to form an abstract noun, or in any other karaka except the doer. So pataha cannot be the reader, the one who reads. It can be the act of reading, or it can be that which is read, that in which something is read, that from which something is read. So it can be these meanings, any other karaka except kartari. So last time when we had the situation in the class, we had this again verse number 75 in the Raghuvamsha Kavyam. By the way, this is Raghuvamsha Kavyam Navamas Sargaha. This is the 9th Sargaha. He hasn't put the verse numbers here, but this is verse number 75. Okay, so Hatate iti kranditam akaranya visharnas tasyan vishyan vetasa gudam prabhavam sa. We took it as in the sense of bhave, the act of originating. I think what really we should have done is that learned like this, is that prabhavatyasmat iti prabhavaha is the karanam, that from which something originates. So that is he says the karanam. And this is given by Malinatha in the commentary. They say after we do all our homework and we apply all the knowledge that we know, always give the respect to the Tikakaraha, the Bhashyakaraha, because they have spent their lives for us to give us these commentaries. So at least check what he has to say. At least check he has to say. So Malinatha gives Prabhavati Asmat iti Prabhavaha Karanam. So always check with the commentator. Make that as a good rule. Always check with the commentator and always check with a good translation like Gita Press or whatever like that. So just to double check that we haven't missed any point. And last time, so this Prabhavaha, the derivation is the same. The steps are exactly the same. No difference. We take the dhatu bhu and then instead of using rudo rap, which comes over here, saying if a dhatu ends in the uvarna, means in the rasvakara, dirgha, rasva ukara, atva dirgha ukaranta dhatu, then we use rapsibi, pratyaya up comes, and then we did the gunadesha, sarvadhatuka, that's all that is the same. She formed Prabhavaha with the, the Kukati Parada, is that, the 3-3-20 was perfectly fine. Only thing is that we did not mention the right meaning in which the pratyaya came. The meaning of the pratyaya came, that was not mentioned correctly, because that should be in the, give me 1 second please, I was trying to move my screen. Okay, I'm trying to find, okay, right. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'll do it again. So this sutram which we should have used was this one. We should have nyayam. Then we say that from which something originates. So it is the source or the nyayam which are prabhavaha, which we have over here in verse 75. Use the sutram in which the pratyaya is used. Okay, so that's the one that. So then we use the pratyaya up and we got all the meanings. So one more time is Prabhavatya sutram is 3.3.19 akritchak. So don't think only bhave. It can like some yasmad. So that from which you take the nutrients is aharaha, and so on and so forth. So that is important. So ahara doesn't mean just the act of consuming. It means the diet, food, that from which you take. I had a typo, which is Vedam. So Vetasa Gudham and they covered. So there I should have had Channam, not Chinnam. I had a typo in the document. I had a Chinnam. Chid is to cut. Comes in Gita, right? Nayanam Chindanti Shastrani, Nayanam Dahati Pavakaha. Well, Chad is to cover. So Channam I should have had. I had a typo, I had Chinnam, it should have been Channam. So covered. Vetasaihi Gudham, Vetasa Gudham. Of course, 242, which is Radhabhyam Nishtatonaha Purvasya Jadaha. Okay, so let's continue. So we are on verse 77. Over here, Tachhoditaha. Tach Pitroho Sakasham Yam Yathagatam Upetya Tameka Putram Ajnanataha Swacharitam Nrupati Shashamsa. One more time. Tachhoditascha Tamanudrita Shalyam Eva Pitrosakasham avasanna drisyorninaya tabhyan tathagatam upetya tameka putram ajnanataha swacharitam drupati shashamsa. Let me put Vain to her. You there, Vain?
Oh,
okay, is that a compound or not?
Yes.
There's a choice.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, if it is not a compound, what would be the choice, sir?
If it is not a compound.
If we take tat as a prutak padam, if we take tat as a separate word, then what could that be?
That can be only first or second.
Napumsakalinge Prathama Atva Ditya Ekavachanam. That's the choice could be. So Napumsakalinge Prathama Atva Ditya Ekavachanam. So that you can try to fit that and see if it fits around anywhere, you know. So it is
right there
not,
it is saha, so I think.
you know, the thing is that can the tat fit, you know, outside? Can the tat fit outside? Going to be Anudhrita Shalyam Pitroho Sakasham Asdashoho. So there's nothing in the context, you know. Here we have, of course, Dasharatha the Raja, we have the Putram, we have, you know, Swacharitam, we have the Shalyam, but there's nothing to fit the tat right now. So that's why is why you have to try both options. Try both options and see which one fits. And the one which fits the best way is, of course, you can also look at the commentary. Tat choditaha is tena choditaha. Tena muniputrena choditaha. So it is a samastam padam, and of course we have to use stoshchunashchu sandhikaryam 8440 comes tad choditaha vajalam jashonte and tam jashonte, and then use stoshchunashchu and then kharich. I'm sorry, we need kharich also. So it is tad choditaha, then become taj choditaha by the 8440 stoshchunashchu, and then find. Okay, go ahead. So tena muni putrena choditaha. No saha. Where is the cha?
Oh.
Yeah, cha. So tat choditaha cha.
Choditaha.
Cha.
Anudatta.
No. It is tam.
Where is this? Oh, yes.
Anudhrita. I think the rikara is missing.
Oh,
in the
dhrita.
text. Yeah. Please make. I'm sorry. There's a typo.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Anudhrita. Okay. Anudhrita. Okay.
Anudhrita shalyam eva.
Anudhrita shalyam and then
eva.
Okay. Pitroho.
Sakasham avasanna.
Sakasham.
Avasanna.
Avasanna
drishoho.
Ninaya. So one more time. Tachchoditaha cha tam anudhrita shalyam eva pitroho sakasham avasanna drishoho ninaya. Okay,
so you are not using the other book for this class?
Well, I did because Antoine doesn't have the commentary, so I'm not going in like. I'm using it here on my desk, but I'm not going through. I'm not going through the full commentary, every word of the commentary. Yeah.
Because then I could have cheated, you know.
Yeah. No, but I think a good point. You could look at the commentary and get.
Yeah, right.
So the commentary clearly says tena choditaha. So it's very straightforward. Yeah. The commentary will give the padacheda, padanvaya already. Okay. Good. So good. You should not be afraid to look at the commentary. I hope the Thursday class has taught us one thing, is that you should not be afraid to look at the commentary. It's very useful.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Then
Tabhyam.
Same thing here.
Tata agatam upetya.
No. Stop. There's tatha and gatam. Could be tatha agatam. Could be tatha gatam. Could be tatha as a pruthak padam. And gatam. So there's again the same choice. See, whenever you have a term which is declined and undeclined the same form, that's when you have an issue. So there, same thing we had. Tad could be standing outside in tat choditaha as a prathama dvitiya ekavachanam napumsakalinge. Here tatha is an amvyayam. So tatha could very well stand outside.
Yes.
So tatha could be tatha agatam, could be tatha gatam, and then tatha gatam as a samastam padam. Now in this again we can cheat and go to the commentary, and it says that, you know, tathagatam means who has is tam prakaram gatam praptam. So tathagatam, in fact it's Mulinatha what he says. Tathagatam is vetasagudham. So who was in that state? Who had thus gone? Yeah, who was in that state? So tathagatam was in that situation. Who had gone to? So tatha is tam prakaram gatam. Who had gone to that situation, who was in that state, who had, technically speaking, who had gone to that manner. That is the. So tathagatam is a samastam padam here. If you keep, again, same, the test is, again, is the same idea. If you keep tatha as separate, then where is the yatha for that?
Okay.
If you keep it out, you should try both the options. And if you see tatha, first of all, if you say tatha and if you become agatam, there could be that also. But, here if you say put tatha outside, which is, tena prakarena, it will not make that much. And then gatam will be sitting outside. And gatam will not have much to support itself either. It will not make much sense. So gatam would become gone, or agatam would become, but that's not the thing. Tathagatam is tam prakaram gatam. One who had gone to that manner means one who was in that situation. So, okay, then go ahead. Next one.
Upetya.
Upetya. This is an interesting one. This is me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tam.
So what is the dhatu here? Any guess?
Has upetya.
Upa is upasarga.
Upa. E.
Itya. In gatao. Very good. In gatao.
Okay.
In gatao. In upetya means having approached. Having approached. Okay, then go ahead.
Tam ekaputram ajnanatah.
Ekaputram ajnanatah. Okay.
Ajnanatah. Swacharitam.
Swacharitam.
Drupatihi shashamsa.
Shashamsa. Okay. What is Tingantam Padam? Let's attack that first.
Easy. Ninaya and shashamsa.
Shashamsa. And both are lit Pratham Purusha Ekavachanam.
Yes.
I mean, we won't go through all the steps again. The same is the Abhyasa in either case. Haladisheshaha. Of course, the tip has become null by 3482. Purasya Padanam, null atusus. I mean, all the same, all rules, nothing special. So let's not spend time again on the same. If you want to practice these rules, go on the website. There's a lot of practice. So it's lit lakaraha, Pratham Purusha, Ekavachanam, like Vacha, Jagama. So this Pratyaya null comes in here. So learn to recognize this ending akaraha. In the Tingantam Padam, null is a very common. And look at the abhyasa taking place here. Ninaya, of course, Ninaya, you get the dhatu is ning, prapane. Prapane is to lead. And in the abhyasa, first of all, nonaha, the beginning nakara of a dhatu, murdhanya nakara takes a nakara desha by nonaha. And then rasva desha by rasva in the abhyasa bhagaha. So Rnonaha is 6165, right after Dhatva, the Shassaha, then becomes Rnonaha. And then we get the Vriddhi Adesha, because the Pratyaya null is a Nit, so Ni becomes Nai, and then we get, in fact, I'm sure we had Ninaya derived in the previous class. I'm sure Ninaya, we've seen this Ninaya before. Let me check, because now these class documents are becoming very nice. As we have Ninaya, do we have it? No, okay. I think we had it in Thursday class. We must have had Ninaya. I think we had Ninaya. So let me check Ninaya. No, I'm sorry, Ninaya. See, most of the time I just copy paste now from previous. See Ninaya. I see here we have it. I knew we had it somewhere. So it says see Ning Prapane, Lit Lakaraha. I mean tip becomes null, and then Shab doesn't come because of Lit Sutram. It's the saying of Ardhadhatukam. Then Anubandha Lopaha, Abhyasa Karyam, and we have to wait for because Dirvachana Echi, we have to wait for the Abhyasa to take place before we do any Ajadeshaha in this Angam. So first we do Abhyasaha, then Hasvaha, then we do Vriddhyadesha, Achonyati, Echo Yava Yavaha, Ninaya. So anyway, these are all been done in the class many times and on the website. Okay, Ninaya and Shasams. What is Ninaya means? He led. Shashamsa means he narrated. His shams. Yeah, prashamsa can mean also to praise, to extol. But shams can also mean just to narrate, to tell, to describe. So prashamsa is to praise. But shams can just mean to tell, to describe. It could mean that also. Okay, so who's the karta of Ninaya? No, let's try to fill in the parts now. We got our foundation ready now. So we basically have two sentences here. Okay, so first thing is Ninaya. Who's the subject of that?
Oh, Saha.
There's no Saha. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no Saha. So we have to take it from the context. Is that
Nrupatihi comes later.
Nrupatihi. Nrupatihi. So Nrupatihi is the one Ninaya. Now who's the object of that?
Putram.
It is Tam. Tam.
Tam ekaputram. Tam.
No, because is coming later, so let's not jump there as yet. So this is demarcating this sentence here. So let's deal only with the first line. Okay.
Okay.
So tam, yes, yeah. So nripatihi tam muniputram ninaya. He led him. So the king led him, the son of the sage, of the ascetic. Then where did he take him? Take him
Pitroho.
to Pitroho Sakasham.
Because Sakasham.
So Pitroho is Shashti Dvivachanam of Pitru Pradivadikam. Of course, simple and sandhi. And then Sakasham is Samipam. So Kash is to shine, to appear, which appears along with, we say, proximity. So Samipam Ninaya. Now you notice one thing, we got two objects here. It's taken two objects now. Like for example, simple Gopalaha, Dhenum, Gramam Nayati. Here comes our two objects now. So the boy, the cowherd boy, takes the cow to the village. So now we have two objects. Now, as we've seen in the previous classes, in the Wednesday class itself, there are only 16 dhatus and their synonyms. Actually, 12 plus 4 dhatus. Again, we won't spend the whole class today. If you want to go back and refer to your notes, there are only 12 plus 4 equals 16. Now, why 12 plus 4? Okay, let's go to the first section. So, Vakathitancha. And this is a Panini joke. Akathitancha. He hasn't described properly Panini. Akathitam is undescribed. So this sutram, very cryptic sutram. But it basically, if you look at the Vyachana of Akathitancha, it's 51, right? 1451. There are these 16, and if you look at that, it will list that. We had this in the book, in the Antoine book. We did this in full detail. And here, those dhatus are, rich. An interesting thing that, and in the end, it is tata sya ni. Here it is ni. So ni is one of those 16 dhatus which can take two objects. Doesn't have to, which can take two objects. In fact, interesting in the shloka is that not only ni, but the same thing is in the dhatu shams can also take two objects. So now we have two verbs which both can take two objects. So there's also some poetry going on over here. But anyway, let's deal with one at a time. Ninaya. It has taken two objects because he led the boy to the proximity, to the presence of his parents. So Sakasham Dvitiya Ekavachanam. Pitro is Shashti Dvivachanam. That's just Chinese also Dvitiya Ekavachanam. So it has taken two objects now. Now why do we have 16, 12 plus 4 when you remember why we have 12 plus 4? Why not just make 16? Why 12 plus? What is it 12 plus? Because if you look at the Siddhanta Kaumudi, it says that Dushyach, Pach, Danda, Ridhi, Prachi, Chi, Bru. Well, the Bru is here, by the way, Bru. Even though Shams is not mentioned here, Bru is there. Because it includes these 12 plus 4 and their synonyms also. So Bru is to tell, so Shams can come along with that. Why, Chi, Bru, Sha, Su, and so on. And then comes the Ni, Ru, Krish, Vaha. Now these four, reason is 12 plus 4 is that, again this is an old topic, is in the passive form. In the passive forms it makes a difference now. It passive makes, which is the Pradhana Karma and the Gauna Karma. For these 12, okay, let's take our example right now. Let's take an example right now. What do we have? We have that Dasharatha, Raja, Muniputram, Pitro Sakasham, Ninaya. Okay. Now, if you want to make it passive, how would you make it? You take it. You can do it in English. It was pretty nice in English. So the king took the boy to the presence of his parents. If you make it passive, the boy was taken. The boy was taken by the king to the presence of his parents. Correct? So the boy, who is the Pradhana Karma is the one, which is the main object, and which is the one which will not give up its Dvitiya Vibhakti. For example, if you want to, which one of these, the Sakasham or the Tam Putram, is Pradhana Karma, you try to change the Vibhakti on one of them. See which one will give way. The Putram cannot change. Because say Raja, putram nyanaya. Putram cannot change vibhakti. You cannot say putre, putraya, putrena. You cannot say. But sakasham can change. You can say sakashe. We can, for example, Gopalaha dhenum gramam nayati athva grame nayati. He leads the cow into the village. So that gramam, in this case sakasham, is the gauna karma, because that is liable to change. It is secondary object. So the speaker had a choice. This is the sutram akatitancha. The speaker had a choice. He could have put grame or sakashe, but he chose not to do that. Then what Panini says, if that's the situation, then now what sakasha should take, what vibhakti? In what it should, first of all, let's not forget one thing, is that 1/4 that sutram is only assigning the karma sanya, and then we have to take it, this is not directly assigning the dvitiya vibhakti, but once we get the karma sanya, then of course the speaker had a choice. He could have said sakashe inaya, but he chooses not to do that. He chose not to do that. Then what happens is that then it gets the karma sanya. So he could have had, it could have been adhikaranam, but the speaker chose not to do that, it became karma. So now the tam putram is a pradhana karma. So and the sakasham is a gauna karma. Now what happens in the passive? In the passive it is that for these 4 verbal roots and their synonyms which are given over here, which one are those? Those are the ni, ru, krish and vaha. Means to lead, to ru is to take away, or to carry. Krish is again to pull, draw, and vaha is also to carry or to bear. So these 4, what happens is that in the passive, the pradhana karma becomes abhita, he becomes prathama. So now what would be the passive form in this sentence? Passive form would be is muniputraha, rajnya, by the king. Pitro sakasham will be unchanged. Become ninye. It will become atmanepadam. Ninye. So one more time, if you have to make this passive, you have to put putraha, saha putraha. It will become abhita. It will become prathama vibhakti. So abhita means he will be the one who will be denoted by the verb, will be connected with the verb. So the boy, you can do it in English, keep it simple. The boy was taken by the king to the presence of his parents. But so that's the case with these 4 dhatus, which are the ni, r, krish and vaha. These other dhatus, which is one of the, let's take bru, right? Bru. In this case, we can have dhatu shams over here, shams, right? Now let's take, so Shri Krishna, Arjunaya, Shastram brute. So Shri Krishna tells the Shastram to Arjuna. Now we can also say Shri Krishna Arjunam Shastram brute. So now clearly you know that we just discussed that the Shastram is the pradhana karma here. It cannot change. We have to say Shastram brute. But Arjuna can change. He can become Arjunam Shastram brute athva Arjunaya Shastram brute. So Arjuna is the gauna karma, and the Shastram is pradhana karma. Now what happens in the passive is that who goes in the who goes now in the, what do you think when in this sentence?
Shastram Krishnena Arjunaya.
No, you cannot say Arjunaya now. You have to keep Dvitiya now. When you make it passive,
you don't change it. Okay, Arjuna.
You have only choice. You only Prathama Dvitiya choice now.
Okay. Then definitely Shastram stays Prathama.
You no. It's the other way around.
Arjuna is Prathama?
We'll try it in English. Shri Krishna describes the science to Arjuna. Right? In English it will not work that too well. Let's see. Okay, try this. Let's try this. So this will work in English. Say, I ask my friend a question. Okay, ask. In this case, you would tell or ask the same thing. So try this word ask, because if you look at it will be in English. It was put in English, with ask. So here the dhatu pracha is there, pracha. Okay, so I asked my friend a question. Now
you can say a question was asked.
You have to keep Dvitiya or Prathama. You cannot do any other vibhakti.
Yeah.
So my friend is asked a question by me. So my friend is asked. So the friend who is actually the Gauna karma, he goes in Prathama in the passive. So that's what distinguishes these 12 from these 4. So these 12. The simple thing is that try to understand one example clearly, and then the other one will be opposite of that. The one I like to keep clearly is the boy takes the cow to the village. That's an easy example.
Right.
The cow in the passive, the cow is taken by the boy to the village. You cannot confuse the example. And so that happens in the case of these 4. Ni, Ru, Krishvaha. It's the opposite for these 12. So if you understand one example clearly, so if you understand these 4 clearly, I think these 4 is easier to understand, these 4. So the boy takes the cow to the village. The cow is taken by the boy, obviously. It's not the village being taken to the village. So we can say, Gopalaha dhenum gramam nayati. Gopalena dhenuhu gramam niyate. Becomes passive. Once you understand that, then the other one is the opposite of it. So go back to example now. Is Shri Krishna Arjunam Shastram Brute. Now Arjuna could have been Arjunaya. But Arjunam. So now that is the Gauna Karma. So again, what is Gauna Karma? That which can take another vibhakti. That is the Gauna. So you can say Arjunaya Athva Arjunam. Shastram cannot change. It cannot change. Okay, now in the passive, so it is the opposite of the boy taken to the village now. So now in this case, the Gauna Karma. So we can say Sri Krishnena Arjunam. This is a bad thing, but Shastram is the same form, Prathama Dvitiya. But anyway, Shastram Prathama Uchyate. Sri Krishnena Arjunam Shastram Uchyate. Shastram Uchyate. So like that we can say. So here what happened, because Shastram is not changing because Dvitiya Prathama is same form. But bottom line is that the Shastram, see the oh, did I make a mistake? I'm sorry. I think I made a mistake because the Arjunaha, it's a good example. So Arjunaha Shastram Uchyate Shri Krishnena. You see, I myself made a mistake. This is confusing. You have to keep one thing. If you understand the knee example, the opposite is going to happen in the sense of paracha. So if you say, I asked my friend a question. So the friend is secondary. The question is primary object. When you make it passive, the secondary object, which is the friend, goes in Prathama. My friend is asked a question by me. Okay, so now same thing here. Shri Krishna teaches Arjuna the scripture. Okay, then the passive, Arjuna is taught the scripture by Shri Krishna. So Arjuna, Shri Krishnena, Shastram Uchyate. So that is the passive form. As I said, sometimes this can get very confusing. So what I like to do is that I like to understand these 4. Okay, they're very easy. Just take one, and my example is, remember this is one example, is Gopalaha Dhenum Gramam Nayati. Make it passive, is Gopalena Dhenuhu Gramam Niyate. Once you establish that, that's the case for these 4. Then for the other 12, just make it opposite of that. So you say, Shri Krishna Arjunam Athva Arjunaya Shastram Brute. Now of course Arjuna is the Gauna. In the case of these 4, the Pradhana becomes Abhita. In the case of these 12, the Gauna becomes Abhita. So Gauna is Arjuna. So he becomes now Arjuna. Shri Krishnena Shastram Uchyate. Okay, so anyway, this is all. So as I said, this can get confusing. But some of these 16 are a little bit strange. I mean, some of these 12 are a little bit strange. In English, they don't make that much good sense. Okay, so these 4 work nicely in English. So I would hang on to those. Then the opposite occurs for these 12. Okay, so I just made a mistake myself almost. So Arjuna goes to Abhita because he is the Gauna Karma, and in these 12, the Gauna becomes Abhita. So Arjuna, Shri Krishnena, Shastram Uchyate. Okay, anyway, right now we don't have passive, we have active, so don't not to worry about it. But still, we do have a Dvikarmaka Dhatu, that is Dhatu, Ni. As I always say, when Panini or whatever the Siddhanta Kaumudi will mention the specific dhatu, always pay attention to that. Siddhanta Kaumudi gives this, of course, the Mahabhashyam coming from there. These 4 dhatus are mentioned, which is Ni, Ru, Krish, and Vaha. So that should be like a flag in your mind. So when you have dhatu Ni, it can take 2 objects. In fact, here it has. It doesn't have to. You can simply say, Gopalaha Dhenum Nayati. You can say that. I don't have to take, but it can take 2 objects. And here, which are the 2? We have Tam Muniputram, Pitro is Shashti, we can leave it out, Sakasham Ninaya. Okay, let's continue. So if you want to do some homework, go back and look at your notes. And the sutram is cryptic sutram Akatitancha. Akatitancha. That sutram is 1451. Okay. Now let's fill in the gaps over here now. We have, so that Raja has one adjective, Tat Chodita, we just talked about that, is Tena Choditaha, simple Tritiya Samasaha, Tena Muniputrena Choditaha, Choditaha. Because in the prior shlokaha we had the Putraha was doing, he narrated to the king who he was, and then Tat Choditaha, so connection. So Tena Choditaha. So Dhatu Chud is in Churadiganaha, so first year Pratyay Nich become Chodi. Puganda Lagupatasya. Once you have Chodi, then what happens there? You have Chodi plus the Pratyakta. Same Pratyakta. And then Nishtayam Seti. By Nishtayam Seti, we the Nich Pratyaya goes away. By Nishtayam Seti. We're just looking at it before the class. So say, here is Chodita. I have it right here. These documents are becoming quite good now. So Chuda Sanchodane. And then Chuda plus Nich. So one thing good about the web is once you do something, it is there forever. You can search and copy, paste, embed, do whatever you want. This was the grace of, our Shankar Brahmachari. He used to always tell me, Satish, you repeat the same thing over and over again for the last 8 years. Every time you come to class, you again repeat the same thing. So why don't you go on the web and once and for all record it and you put it in the documents. So you can always copy, paste, refer. So luckily he was the one who gave us the idea, Shankar Brahmachari, to do this, and it has been so. It takes a lot of work to put the first time, but once it is there, then you just go and search, like 6452, and we just find this thing. I can just copy and paste this now. So this was done in the Thursday class. So Chud plus Nich by Swarte Nichuradibhyo Nich, Puganta Laghupadasya, and Dhatu Sanya Vasanadhyanta Dhatavaha, Pratyakta Nishtha, Sutram Nishtha, and then Idagamaha, because it's Anekach Dhatu, so nothing can stop Idagama. Remember, 7 to 10 is Ekach Padeshanu Dhattat. Only Ekach is Anekach. So in Idagamaha, and then after that, Nishtayam City is that, Niraniti is 76451. That's Nehe Aniti. But this Nishtayam City, this Nishtha Pratyaya with the Idagamaha, in the pride Nishtha. So Choditaha means propelled, Preritaha. Instigated by him, propelled by him, requested by him. So the king led him, the boy, to the presence of his parents. Now we have one adjective for the boy and one for the parents. Adjective for the boy is Anudhrita Shalyam. Udhrita. Udhrita. Udharaha. Udhara means to lift up, to kind of extract, to pull out, So Udhrita is the same Nishtha Pratyaya. Nishtha Pratyaya means pulled out. Udhrita. Of course, in this case, if you take Udhru, then you have to use this Jayoho Anyatarasyam. Udhrita becomes Udhrita. Jayoho, these Sandhi rules, I hope you're practicing them. Jayoho Anyatarasyam. Jayoho Anyatarasyam. So Jai. What is Jai from Jabai up to Kapai? So it is the Prathama, Dvitiya, Chaturtha Varnaha. So it is the first 4 columns of the 5 by 5 of the Vargiya, the 5 by 5 matrix. So if preceded by any one of these letters from the first 4 columns, in this case Udhrita, then the Hakara optionally takes the Purvasya Savarna Adesha. Remember, the Hakara is a Mruda Varnaha, it's a Mahapranaha. So it takes Chaturtha Varna Adesha. So Udhrita. So the Hakara will take the Mruda, the soft aspirate from the Tavarga, which is the Dhakara. Udhrita it becomes. So it's optional, like Shimad Dhanuman. So So Shrimad Hanuman, Shrimad Hanuman. So saying Udrita, Udrita. So Udrita means extracted. Anudrita, of course, is a Nyantat Purusha. Again, these are very common things. I have not put in document again and again. This should be very straightforward by now. Is the 2 to 6. We had the Samasana in detail in this class for many weeks. So you can, I think all of you are familiar with that. So basically, this is use the sutra Nyai, then Na Lopo, Nayaha, then Tasma Nudachi. Nudachi. If you want to practice these rules, go back to your prior notes. Look at 2 to 6. Whenever you apply this sutram Nyai, being this Nyai avyayam, the negation compound, then always think of these two rules, which is Na Lopo, Nayaha, and then Tasma Nudachi. So Nakara of Nai takes Lopaha, and then following that, if you have an Ach, it takes the Nutagamaha. Becomes Anudrita. So Anudrita, Anudrita. And then this is finally a Bahuvari compound is qualifying the Putram. So Anudritam Shalyam Yasya Saha. So one whose arrow has not been extracted out. So he took him with the arrow in him. Without extracting the arrow, he took him there. So Anudritam Shalyam Yasya Saha. Yasya Saha. In fact, Shalya is, let me see, is it a Pullinga or it's a Linga? Okay, so it's Napumsakalinga. Okay. So Anudritam Shalyam Yasya. So na Udritam Anudritam. And then we can. Of course, Udrita itself is a Gati Samasa, Kugati Paradeha. So we have Udrita, Kugati Paradeha, 2 to 18. Then Anudrita by 2 to 6. And then finally 2 to 24, Anekamanya Padarte, Anudritam Shalyam Yasya. Yeah, one thing, if you want to authorize any compound, you have to use Sutram from 2.1 or 2.2 Ashtadhyayi. So always remember, no matter what you do, ultimately you have to find a Sutram or Vartikam, whatever it might be, in 2.1 or 2.2 of the Ashtadhyayi. Okay, remember that. So then we have Avasanya Drishoho. Avasanya Drisho. Of course, Sanna, of course, I'm sure we have had Sanna in one of the prior classes. It is Dhatu Sad. We have used 8 to 42. First of all, this Sad is Anudattu Padeshaha, so it's in Nishedha, and then we use, I'm sure we have had Sun in a prior class, I'm quite sure we have had it. In fact, I think we had it in this class also, we had it, I think. Sun, yeah, see, Sun. Dhatu is Shadl Visharana Gatyavasadhaneshu, then Dhatu Adesha Saha, then add the Nishtha Pratyaha, and then Kartavatu Nishtha. It could be Kartari Arthe. So Avasan Dishoho. Avasan means is one which has like sunk down to. So this one which like sit, like sediment. English, in the English word like sediment or to sit, they come from the Dhatu Sad thing. So means to kind of be like in Gita Arjuna Vishada Yoga, to be depressed. So Avasada has to kind of look to like, almost like to become extinct, to sink down. So here, so this is Kartari Arthe because it is Akarmaka here. And then in Nisheda by 7 to 10 in the Dantesh, always keep the list in front of your eyes in the Vyakarana Bhitta on your wall. You have to paste this list on the wall, which is 7 to 10. And Danteshu, Ada, Kshuda, Kida, Chida, Tuda, Nuda, Padya, Bhida, Vidya, Vinad, Vind, Shad, Sad. So it's a Radhatu Padesha in Nishedha. And Radhabhyam Nishthato Naha Urvasya Chadaha. So this becomes Na. This also becomes Na and becomes Sanna. Avasanna is of course Gati Samasa Kuriti Pradeha. Means in this says Nashta. So in Nashta Drishoho. So one whose eyes had sunk. Basically one who were blind basically. Andhayoho ityartha. So Avasanna. So Avasanna Drik. So you also see this Drik is basically means is not the so that which you can say that which it sees is the eyes. It's the eyes. So Drish is in this case the eyes. So if you look at the commentary, Avasanna Drishoho, what Vigraha Vakyam he gives, Avasanna Drishoho Nashta Chakshushoho. Nashta Chakshushoho. So one whose eyes had basically gone, so they were blind. So the Vigraha Vakyam would be that the Avasanna Drig Yayoho Tau. So those two whose eyes were gone. Okay, second sentence, Shashamsa. Drupati, this is an interesting sentence by the way. Now try to follow this one if you can. Drupati hi Shashamsa. Straightforward. The king. So Nrinampati, Nrupati. So the king narrated. Then he said Swachritam Shashamsa. The king narrated his behavior, his action, his conduct. So Swasya Charitam, Swachritam, Charitam Nirsa. Now Tabhyam Shashamsa. Again the same thing now. See this Dhatu Bru I said you see, because in this case, interesting shloka here, in the prior verse the speaker chose not to express Sakasham as Sakashe. But in this verse he has chosen to express Tabhyam as a Chaturthi. He didn't say Tau, he said Tabhyam. So here it could have been taken two objects, but in this case, like we said, Arjunaya Shastram Brute. So Arjunaya Arjunam Shastram Brute. So in this case, it becomes Tabhyam. Okay. So Tabhyam means Pitrabhyam. So to these parents. Okay. Now comes some interesting things over here. We have Upetya, having approached, and we'll go to some grammar in this document. It has some grammar here, so we can do that. Okay, we'll come to that. But let's look at, there's one problem, one issue over here. Okay, so it's Upetya, having approached. Now comes the interesting part. Okay, Ajnanata is straightforward. Ajnanata is out of due to ignorance, unknowingly. So far, what do we have? The king narrated unto the two parents his action, his act, his conduct. Okay, which was unknowingly done. His act was unknowingly done. Now, and then having approached. This is what we have so far. Okay, now what is left over now? Tathagatam. It says Vetasa Gudham commentary. It means was in that state. So Tathagatam is Muniputram. Then Tam, him, Ekaputram. So we have these three things left now. Tathagatam, Tam, Ekaputram. What do you think when? Who goes with what now? See, Dvitiya Vibhakti means it has to go with some verbal participle or a verb, or it could be an amvyayam. In this case, we have two choices now. We have Shashamsa, could take objects. It has taken, already taken one object, Swacharitam. Okay. Now we have Upetya has taken. Okay, let's to get the thing started. Let me tell you what Muninatha has done. Okay.
Upetya.
Upetya goes with whom? Now, who goes Upetya? Having approached whom? And before you answer that question, remember that this sutram is that Samana Kritikyo Purva Kale. When there are two actions being done, then the prior action takes the pratyak. Tva becomes lyap. It's taken tukagamaha. So having approached. Now that same doer should do the second action. Now what is the second action now? Is it Charitam? Of course you can see from my book there's some notes over here. But anyway, Upetya Charitam. Atva Upetya Shashamsa.
Upetya Shashamsa.
It doesn't fit well. Try it. See what happens. So having approached, he narrated.
Approached them and then he told them.
No, not so fast. Where is the them now?
Oh, okay.
That is the problem. Because we have tam, ekaputram, and tathagatam. Tathagatam is qualifying the putram. You can just, so for a time make it easy, say putram.
Right.
Tathagatam cannot be anything else. Tathagatam. You know what? It could also be this. Okay, this ekaputram can, just to make it easy for you, ekaputram can go two ways now. The son who was the only son could now refer to the boy, or refer to the father who has only son. So ekaha putra yasya saha ekaputram. Atva ekaschasau putrascha ekaputram. So that is the little play over here now, is that ekaputram could be a karbadharya compound, meaning the only son. It could also be the father who has only one son. Okay, let's just to start the proceedings, let me just tell you that, let's see what Muninatha has done. Okay, the way he has done it is that, and it is grammatically very sound, is he's taken the second action as Charitam. So the king narrated unto the parents what he had done out of ignorance, having gone close to this to the single son who was in that condition, means who was concealed by the reeds. So having approached the son who was in that condition, means concealed by the reeds, he had done. So the doing, this dhatu char, is the second action, not shashamsa. If you try shashamsa, which is that's the confusing thing. If you try shashamsa, you see it'll become what? He narrated unto the parents. That part is fixed. We cannot change that. Having approached now whom? He has to approach the person who's narrating to, right? He cannot approach the son now. He has to approach the father. Here we have two choices. Here also we can say having approached him means the pitaram, him. But now the problem is that you're approaching only the father now. Narrating to two, approaching only the father. That's the problem here. So you say, so having approached him means the pitaram, ekaputram, who had only one son. But then what happened to Tathagatam then? It will not be Vetasagudham. Then you have to make Tathagatam is Nashtachakshusham. So you have to make it then, who was in that state means who was blind. So you have to make it like that then. So Andham.
Wow.
So you have to make it like that. Okay, now there's one more choice now. There's one more choice. Professor Devdar, let me read you Devdar's comment here. Interesting shloka. He says that, okay, this is what he says. First of all, this account is, in the account to Ramayanam, it's different, okay. In the Ramayanam, he doesn't take the boy to the parents. In the Ramayanam, he keeps the boy, he brings the parents to the boy. This account, as Mulinatha has explained, is against the Ramayanam version, according to which the son dies on the spot, while the blind parents are led by the king to the boy. Okay, that's one problem. Anyway, that's not a Vyakarana issue, that's just a story. But now Upetya, Mulinatha takes it with Ekaputram, the only son, who was in that state, means Vetasakudham, Tathagatam. But it is possible to take Upetya independently. So having approached, he told unto them. So you don't make any object of Upetya. Leave it like that. So having approached, no object, he narrated unto the parents. Okay, but then we are left with Tathagatam, Tam Ekaputram. Then where do you put those now? So they are left hanging now. But what he says is that, and having approached, means into bracket, Tau Pitarau, you supply that. The king told them that Tabhyam is there, of their only son being in that state, and of his own act. So he puts a chur now. So he told him of his conduct, as well as of his son being in that state, means that, Shalyana Protam, he was basically dead. He was being, struck by the arrow. So that's our third choice. Is you just say Upetya Tabhyam Swacharitam Shashamsa Tam Ekaputram Tathagatam Cha Shashamsa, is you make it third choice. Anyway, so we have a lot of fun over here. So the problem is that we have this a little bit of a strange thing. Not strange really, but what Mulinatha has done is very grammatically correct. Is that he has taken the char as a second action. See, that is the thing. That is which you don't see. As when, as you said, if you just look at it, you think the second action will be shashamsa, because that's the verbal form. But this is also a participle form. So that is why you have to take it. If you want to keep grammatically perfectly sound, the king narrated unto the parents what he had done out of ignorance, what he had done having approached their only son who was in that state. So that would be the final sentence. Anyway, 1 hour in shloka, but anyway, we come to the end of this classes, so I don't want to rush and, just kind of, there are a lot of interesting points. Let's go to some Vyakaranam. Okay, let's see what all do we have. So, Tat Choditaha, we talked about that. Tena Putsune Choditaha, Tat Choditaha. Then Na Udhrutam, Anudhrutam, we did that also. Anudhrutam Shalyam Yasya Saha, one whose arrow was not taken out. Then Avasanna Dhrukyayoho, Nashtachakshishoho, one whose eyes were basically sunk, means lost. Then now comes the interesting thing, by the way. In fact, I'm glad the shloka, this is also Panini's grace, I guess. This is one topic which we have not done in the class, okay? This is one topic which we have not done in the class. I'm glad it came up. It is not in the Antoine book. This is what is called as the ek. So this here. Look at the sutra. It is mata cha pita cha pitarau ma pita. So it becomes pitarau, parents. So how it became, because mata cha pita cha should become mata pitarau, right? Not pitarau. So what is happening over here now? Okay, that is a section at the end of one. Technically, this is not a compound. To have a compound, you should have sup supa. One sup is under sup. So pitarau is technically not a compound at all, because there's only one sup in there. You don't have two. You only have one. So this is not in 2122 Ashtadhyayi. It's a different section. Okay, and then here is okay. Let me give you the exact. This is a topic which you have not done in the class. It's called Ekashesha. Ekashesha. In fact, I'll also read from Abhyankar's book. This Ekashesha Prakaranam means only one thing remains behind. The other thing is kind of understood. So that is like Mata Pitarau. Means mother and father just becomes Pitarau instead of become Mata. So Ekashesha starts from 1 to 64. Ekashesha. So this Ekashesha Prakaranam is, again, I don't want to say Ekashesha Samasaha because technically this is not a Samasaha. But Ekashesha Prakaranam, you can say this topic of Ekashesha means only one is left behind. One left behind. That starts from this one, Ekashesha, from this 1 to 64. It goes up to 1 to, so these some terms, this takes, Ekashesha. And in that a sutram is there. You want to do some homework. Take your Shvashurau, for example. Shvashura has Shvashra. So, the in-laws, your in-laws in English. So you say mother-in-law, father-in-law become in-laws. So that's Shvashuraha. So your father-in-law, Shvashra. Shvashra means with the mother-in-law, right? Becomes Shvashurau. So it becomes, so that is also another Ekashesha. So this talks about, so Shvashra sahavachane, Shvashura shabdaha, Shishyate anitrasyam. So Shvashurascha, Shvashruscha, Shvashurau, Atva Shvashru, Shvashurau. So two choices. So Mata cha Pita cha Pitarau, Atva Mata Pitarau. So that is, same thing, it happens like that. So it starts from this one. So again, we won't spend the time on the whole class, but if you want to just scan this section here, look at these rules, and you can try to understand. These are famous ones over here. Pitarau is famous, Shvashurau is famous. Then also you can look at maybe 1 to 68. Swasa sahavachane bhratru shishyate. So bhrata cha swasa cha bhratarau. Like siblings, siblings becomes bhratarau. Okay, so that is, duhitra sahavachane putra shabda shishyate. Like the kids, putrascha duhita cha putrau. So my son and daughter becomes kids basically. So children. So pitarau. So sorry, putrau. And then that is nityam. Nityam. So that is nityam. Anitrasyam starts from here. This is optional. These from here is optional. This is optional. So this 69, 70, 71 are optional. Optional. It becomes optional. So this one is, so these are become mata pitarau or pitarau. Becomes shvashurau, atva shvashurau. But this one, bhrata cha duhita cha, it become only bhratarau. It will not become, there is no, only one stays behind. So, I'm sorry, bhrata cha swasacha, excuse me, bhrata cha swasacha, brother and sister, bhrata cha swasacha, bhratarau, and putrascha duhita cha putrau. So, son and daughter become kids, sons, and then brother and sister become brothers, siblings. Then that is nityam. So bhrata putrau swasru duhitrubhyam. While these ones are optional. So mother and father, mata pitarau, atra pitarau, and then mother-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law can become shvashurau, atva shvashru, shvashurau. So this is the prakaranam of Ekashesha, this topic which I have not done in the class. If you want to just scan, there are only about 10 rules over here. If you want to look at them, we just looked at 3 of them right now, but you can look at more if you want. Okay, let me just read it quickly from Abhyakar's book about this. Ekashesha is, as I said, it's not technically a compound, but some books they put it as the compound because a compound requires two terms. That's the basic definition of compound. It should have two or more terms. This is not a compound. It has only one. Pitaro is a single term. Okay, Ekashesha. Let me read you from Ekashesha. You see the topic. So I'm glad this word came up because we had not done this. So Ekashesha is a kind of composite formation, doesn't say compound, in which only one of the two or more words compounded together subsists, means it survives, the others being elided. So Ekah Shishyate Itare Nivartante. So Vrukshascha Vrukshau. So that's also the Ekashesha. Two trees become Vrukshau. So, and so on. And so on, he goes on and says, so, anyway, dual sense. So there is a dictum of the grammarians that every individual object requires a separate expression to convey its presence. However, hence when there is a dual object, when there are two trees, the word has to be repeated, as also the word has to be multiplied when there is a plural sense. In the current spoken language, however, in such cases the word is used only once. To justify this single utterance, Panini has laid down a general rule. Sarupanam eka shesha eka vibhaktau. And many such rules. Anyway, he goes on to describe the whole things. So Panini has devoted 10 sutras to the topic of eka shesha. So that is what it is. Okay, so we can read about that. Alright, so Ekashesha Samasaha, not Ashvincha Samasa, Ekashesha Prakaranam. So Ekashesha, we had these 10 rules at the end of 1.2. It is not in the Samasa Prakaranam. Okay, let's come back to your document. I'm sorry, more than 1 hour for this sutram today, for the shloka today. So Mata cha Pita cha Pitarau. So sutra Pita Matra. And it's optional. So Ekascha, so Ekaputra can be taken, Ekascha so Putrascha. Also there is a little complication. The thing is that why can we just form a Karmadharya Samasa now? Because again, if you've done this in the class a few times, so I'm just revising. So in today's class, the only special thing is the Ekashesha. Everything else is, repeating what we have done. Okay, so Karmadharya compounds, what is there is this, Tatpurusha compounds from 2122 up to 2222, and within that, from 2149 starts this Samanadhikaranena. So Karmadharyas come from here. The Karmadharya compounds are defined by Panini back here in 1.2. Panini defines Karmadharya compounds. Tatpurushaha Samanadhikaranaha Karmadharyaha. And then from 1 to 149, these all again repeating from prior classes. From 2149, Panini starts it with Samadhikaranena. And now the problem comes is that he puts a restriction, is that Dik Sankhya Sanyaya. If you want to use, like we said, we were taught about the Chaturvedaha. You can say Saptarishayaha. You cannot say Panchabrahmanaha. But there are specific 7 rishis, Atri, Bhrigu, and whatever they might be. But Panchabrahmanaha, there's no such sanya. You cannot make a general statement Panchabrahmanaha. Saptarishayaha is specific for those 7 rishis. Same thing, Chaturveda, you can say there are 4 Vedas. But and so you can say Panchavrikshaha. There's not, unless there's specific 5 trees, you cannot say that. So then the problem becomes, then how can you say Ekaputra then? That's the problem, is that you say Dik Sankhya Sanyaya. So it Dik Sankhya Sanyaya. But then what Panini does is that he specifically puts the term Ekaha in this sutra. Purvakalaika Sarva Jarat Purana Navakevalaha Samadhikarana. So to avoid getting trapped in this restriction of Dik Sankhya Sanyaya, Panini says you can use the word Ekaha even when Sanya is not there. So Ekaputra doesn't have to be some specific one son. Any one can be Ekaputraha. So therefore we need the Sutra 1 to 2149 to use the term Eka. Again, the same idea is that if Panini mentioned the term specifically in a sutra, always pay attention to that. Here Panini mentioned the term Eka. Eka. Why does he have to mention that? Why can we not simply use our default Visheshana Bahulam? Because of the fact that this Dik Sankhya Sanyayam would have created a problem. It doesn't allow a Sankhya Vachaka Shabda to be used in this Karkamdhara compound only Sanyayam. So that is why Panini specifically put Ekaha in this sutram. So Eka can be used even when Sanya is not there. So that is what is happening here. So Ekapatram. See, one single shloka, how much grammar is there in one single shloka? So Purva Kalaika Sarva Jarat Purana Navakevalaha. Okay. Then Tathagatam is Tam Prakaram Gataha, who had gone to that state. So Ditya, so first of all, this Tatha is used, this sutram is 5343, 5323. 5323 is coming over here. 5323 is over here. It says that Prakara Vachane Thal. So that kind of that kind. So Tatha. You can also say Tena Prakarena, Atam Prakaram, means of that kind. So Yatha means, in which manner, kind or manner. So then what we do is that, so we can expand the Tatha and make it Tam Prakaram. Because so Prakara Vachane Thal is what Panini says. So that is why we can use this Prakara Vachane. So we can use Tam Prakaram Gataha. So you can make a Dvitiya compound by this Sutram 2124. Again, if you want to practice, please go back and look at your notes. Tatpurusha compounds come from 2122 up to 2222. And 2124. So Dvitiya compounds can be formed. So Dvitiya, a Dvitiya Antam Padam can compound with one of these. Shrita, Atita, Patita, Gata, Atyasta, Prapta, Apanna. So Tam Prakaram Gataha, Tathagataha, Vetasa Gudha, who had gone to that manner, means who was in that state. He was covered by the reeds. So then in Gatau is also a complication here. In Gatau, as when in Gatau, then Pratyaktva, Samakritiko Purvakale, you form a compound, Kukati Paradayaha by Upa. Now you can do the Lyapadeshaha, Samasanyam Purvekto Lyap, Alubanda Lopaha, Lashakti Jalantyam. Then you get the Gunadesha Ad Gunaha. Now what happens is that you get a Tukagamaha, Rasasya Pitikriti Tuk. Rasasya Pitikriti Tuk. The problem is that once you form this Gunadesha, it's no longer Rasva now, is it? But the Ekara is a Dirgha now. Then how can you use Rasasya Pitikriti Tuk? Because what I'm talking, we need to get the Tuk Agama to get the form Upetya. Upetya. So, but for that, the sutram is 6171, right before Samhitayam. It says Rasasya Pitikriti Tuk. Now, how can we use that? Because we don't have Rasva. That Upetya, the Upe become Dirgha. For that, we have to use the sutram Shatva Tukora Siddhaha. In this adhikara of Eka Purva Parayoho, this Eka Desha will be Asiddha, as if it hasn't happened, unaccomplished. When you have to do the Shatvam or the Tuk Agamaha. So when the Tuk Agamaha wants to come, he doesn't see the Gunadesha. He sees only A plus E. He can come. So Shatva Tukora Siddha. So we have seen Asiddha in three places now, haven't we? We have the Purvatra Siddham, 821 we have. Purvatra Siddham applies to the last 3 quarters of Ashtadhyayi, which is very famous, of course, Purvatra Siddham. Then we have 6422, Asiddhavadatrabhat, Asiddhavat Atrabhat, and that goes from 6422 up to the end of 6.4, Asiddhavat Atrabhat, Asiddhavat Atrabhat. And now we got one more now. Shatvatkora Siddhaha. But this Asiddha is only specifically Asiddhatvam, only Shatvatkoho. Only when these two operations are to be done, which is the Shatvam and the Tukagamaha. So that is why we have to then invoke that, make the Gunadesha Asiddha and Shatvatkora Siddhaha. And therefore, then we can use Rasasapiti Kriti Tuk. Adindotakitau, and then we can get the Upetya form. And then Ajnanataha. Okay, first of all, Na Jnanam Ajnanam, Nyantat Purushaha, and then Na Loponanyaha. Ajnanataha should be really Ajnanena, on account of ignorance, on account of being oblivious. So Ajnanat, we can say. Now what sutram do we use for this pratyat? This is not Panchamyas Tasil. Because Panchamyas Tasil is limited only to certain Pratipadikani. And what is that Panchamyas Tasil? If you look at that one, that comes over here which should have worked here, but that one is restricted to Panchamyastasil. Panchamyastasil. But that is only for Kim, Sarvanama, Bahubhya, Advyadibhya. It's only for certain pronouns and the word Bahu. We don't have that. We have Ajnana. It is not a pronoun. So then what do? Then comes the Vartikam, very famous Vartikam on 5.4.44, which says that Tasi Prakarane is Pratyat Tasi. Tasi Prakarane Adyadibhyascha Upasankhyanam. The Adi, the words Adi, etc. have to be included. Tasi Prakarane. So Adyadibhya Upasankhyanam. Like Aditaha means from the beginning, or in the beginning we can say Adau equals Aditaha. This is what is called as the Sarva Vibhaktikas Tasihi. Sarva Vibhaktikas Tasihi. This Tasi can be used for any Vibhakti. Like Parshvataha on the sides. So Parshvayoho Parshvataha. So so you can you can use for any Vibhakti. So Ajnanataha, Paramarthataha, Udharanataha, Tattvataha, Paramarthataha. So all these have to use this very famous Vartikam, Tasi Prakarane, Adyadibhyo Upasankhyanam. Sarva Vibhaktikas Tasihi. So Ajnanena Atva Ajnana. This Vartikam is in the class before. Okay, final thing for this shloka after hour and 15 minutes. This is given by Malinatha now. Is Tabhyam. So he narrated unto the two parents. The question is that which sutram do we use to get the Chaturthi Vidhanam now? Chaturthi Vidhanam is the sutram to get the sanya of Sampradhanam. What is sutram that we use? Karmana yam abhipraiti sah Sampradhanam. Karmana yam abhipraiti. For example, it is Upadhyayaya Gam Dadati. Upadhyayaya Gam Dadati. So he gives a cow unto his teacher. So that we can say Gurave Gam Patram Likhati. So the object is intended for whom? So that is the intended recipient. The intended recipient object is gets the sanya Sampradhanam. So that this adhikar of Karake starts from 1 to 1.4.23. Karmana yam. So this Karmana yam abhipraiti. The object intended for whom. Do we have that over here? We don't have that. It's not that his conduct intended for them. He narrates unto them. The narration is done unto them. So there is a Vartikam on this thing. It says that which Punyata quotes is Kriya Grahana Chaturthi. So there is a Vartikam on 1.4. It says Kriya Grahanam Api Kartavyam. So we not only the object of an action intended for, but when the action is intended for somebody. So it says Tabhyam Shashamsa. He narrated for their benefit. The narration was intended for them, for the parents. So it's not like there's an object of an action, the object is intended for them. We say Gurave Gam Dadati. So he gives the cow to his teacher. So the cow is intended for the teacher. That's the Karmana Yamaviprisamra. But here we don't have that. It's not like his Charitam was for them. It's not like his of course it wasn't for them. So but the action of narrating was for their benefit. So they get the Sampradhana Sanya. Once you Sampradhana Sanya, of course we can do Chatruthi Sampradhane by 2.3.13. 2.3.13 Chatruthi Sampradhane. So this Vartikam states that even an action, when it is done with the intention for the benefit of somebody, then targeting somebody. So it says Kriya Granam Api Kartavyam is the Vartikam on that. Alright. All 15 minutes on one shloka, but I hope you enjoyed that. So let us look at the translation here now. Translation, again, this is from Professor Devda's book, and he says that, let's see how he has done. Then, probably I would say cha, probably. If you want to do it when, go ahead, if you want to there. Urged by him, what is that? Urged by him.
Choditaha.
Tat choditaha.
Oh, yeah. Right.
By him. So, tena choditaha.
Yeah, right.
He is understood, I think. Bore, carried, led is
Ninaya.
Ninaya. Him
Tam.
Tam. With the barb still undrawn. Is
Anudhrita shalyam.
Anudhrita shalyam. Eva itself. I think Eva was understood. So that's finished the first part. Oh, he hasn't put sakasham. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see what happens. And rehearsed.
Rehearsed.
I think shashamsa.
Okay.
Shashamsa.
Yeah.
What he had done.
Swacharitam.
Swacharitam. Unwittingly.
Ajnanataha.
Ajnanataha. To their only son.
Tamyekaputram. This is a difficult one, really.
He changed it. Because it should be having approached his only son who was in that state.
Tabhyam he just uses and suddenly it becomes singular. Tamyekaputram.
So they are not samadhikaranam. Tabhyam is pitrabhyam.
Right. Tamyekaputram.
See, in
English,
English,
the father, that's the problem. Yeah.
He changed it. Yeah. Whom he had approached.
I guess
having approached Tamupe in that state.
Tathagatam.
Yeah. So he left out this part away, but he forgot this part. He led him. He had that with the barb still undrawn. Oh, he has it. I'm sorry. To his blind parents.
Oh, okay.
So
avasanna
drishoho pitroho sakasham. To the presence of his blind parents. That's correct. Okay, alright, let's see if we can do next one a little bit quicker.
Okay.
So, Tau Dampati Bahuvilapya Shishoho Prahartra Shalyam Nikhatam Udharayatam Murastaha Sobhut Parasurratha Bhumipatim Shashapa Hastarpitair Nayanavaridhir Eva Vriddha. Of course, you all know the story. So he now curses Dasharatha. He gives him a shapa. So Tau Dampati Bahuvilapya Shishoho Prahartra Shalyam Nikhatam Udharayatam Murastaha Sobhut Parasurratha Bhumipatim Shashapa Hastarpitair Nayanavaribhireva Vriddha.
Oh, wow, beautiful.
Okay, Padachedaha, try it.
Wow. Tau
Dampati. Another one, Dampati. No, is this Ekashesha? What do you think? Is this Ekashesha or not? This one is not. Again, this one we had in the class before.
Yeah, this is definitely came in Samasa. Yeah.
This is not Ekashesha. This is Jaya cha Paticha Patischa Jaya Pati Jampati Dampati. So this Jaya, which is the wife, of course, gets it optionally takes the Jam Adesha or the Dam Adesha. So Dampati is the same as Jaya Pati, the same as Jampati. So, but why is it not Ekashesha now? Because the Jaya is there. Only thing is she has taken the Dam Adesha. See, in Pitarao, there's the Mata is just not there at all. There's nothing there at all. So this is Ekashesha. While this one is not. But this one is just the Jaya taking the Dam Adesha. It is not Ekashesha. She is there, but she is taking the Dam Adesha. Anyway, okay, go ahead.
Bahu Vilapya Shishoho Prahartra Shalyam. Now comes Nikhatam
No, how do you decide whether samasa or not? When is that you see if the supratyay is there or not, right?
Yeah.
So Nikhatam is already declined. Nikhatam. So leave it out. Nikhatam is already, you see the Dvitiya Ekvachanam, right? So that's outside the count. So Nikhatam is finished. Now go ahead, the other one.
Udharayatam.
That's the Tingantam Padam.
Yeah.
And then?
Oh, Tingantam. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Dvitiya.
Yeah, Dvitiya Dvivachanam. Dvitiya, not very commonly used. The tam ending.
So I already got my answer. Okay.
That is Udharayatam. Okay. The same, by the way, interesting, same dhatu, udhrita. Udhru. Of course, this is a causative form, but this was a participle non-causative. Udhrita means to extract, to pull out. Udhara, to lift up. So Udharayata means they had the arrow pulled out by the killer. So anyway, so we'll come to that. Urastaha. Urastaha is the same thing as we just saw the Vartikam. So Urastaha, Urasaha. So from the chest. So we have to use the same Vartikam, Urastaha. Okay, go ahead.
Saha abhut.
Okay. Saha abhut.
Abhut. Parasuratha. Parasuhu atha.
Parasuhu atha. Parasuhu atha.
Bhumipati.
Bhumipatim.
Shashapa.
Shashapa. That's the main thing, Shashapa.
Hastaha.
No.
No. Hastar Pitair.
Hastar pitaihi.
Oh, Hastar Pitaihi.
Pitaihi.
Oh, Nayanavaribihi.
Nayanavaribihi. Eva
Vriddha.
The meaning of course
changed. Okay.
So Vriddha. So here that Dampati is the subject here.
Yeah.
So okay,
I was
so
going to ask you, how come Dampati became Shashapa? I said
no, Vriddha.
Yeah, okay, I didn't realize it. Udaharayatam.
The tapasvi is the tapasvi Shasha. But she didn't only the ascetic cursed him, not his wife. So only he cursed him. So okay. Udaharayatam. So dhatu ru. They put the steps here by any chance? I may not have, because this should be a straightforward lang lakara. Let me see if I can get the udahara. So okay, let's do some vyakaranam. Jaya cha patishcha jayapati jampati dampati. Now of course chartya dvandvaha. Then there's a Gana Sutram, the 2-231. This is the Sutram which is the Rajadantadi. There's a Gana, Rajadantadi Gana. What happens is that these words, see 2-230 is what Upasijanam Purvam, which we use all the time. But then there are exceptions. The Rajadantadi Shuparam. In the word Rajadanta means king tooth. You know, your big tooth. The big tooth. Should be what? Dantanam Rajaha. Should be Danta Rajaha. Not Rajadantaha, the king tooth. So, but he's the king of the teeth. But like, comes in Gita, chapter 9. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. Pavitra Vidam Uttamam. So, Vidyanam Raja. Should become Vidya Raja. Not Raja Vidya. So that this class of words where the Upasarjanam should normally go Purvam goes Param. In these words, the Rajadanta Adishu Param, it goes Param, it goes later. And in that, under that is a Vartikam. There's a Vartikam which says that, there's a Gana Sutram. In this Gana, the Rajadanta Adi Ganaha, there's a Gana Sutram. And that we have seen in the prior class. Okay, let me see if I can search that. I'm sorry. Let me see. Okay. This is the Vartikam which this Jaya takes the Jammadeshaha, Dhammadeshaha. Okay. Let me see. Radhantadishu Param. Jaya cha Patishcha. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Jaya Patigana Sutram. Okay, let me look at the Sutram. I didn't put it down here. It is basically this Jaya takes the Jam and the Dam Adesha. That's the Gana Sutra. These Gana Sutras are also tricky because you need to know them, because this is how these words are formed. Let us see, there should be somewhere here. See, Jaya Shabdasya, Jam Bhavo, Dam Bhavascha Nipatyate. See, there are these he gives three forms. Jayapati, Jampati, Dampati. Jaya Shabdasya, Jam Bhavo, Dam Bhavascha Nipatyate. So this is, Nipatya means there's no logic to it. Just give us a ready-made form. So the ready-made form is given here. Jayapati, Dampati, somewhere put it over here. So Jaya Shabdasya, Jam Bhavo, Dam Bhavascha Nipatyate. Okay, that's one Vyakaranam point. And the second thing is that Urastaha, same thing we had from the chest, same Vartikam Tasi Prakarane. This is the Adya Dibhya Upasankhanam. Sarva Vibhaktikas Tasihi. And in Parasuhu, we had this before in the prior class. Paragataha Asavaha Yasmat Asva Yasyasaha. One whose life breath has gone away. means mritaha ityartha. So parasuhu, this is like the word vidava. So vigataha dhavaha yasyasam, one whose husband has passed away is a widow, vidava. So same thing here. Paragataha asavaha, asu is pranaha. Yasya tathva yasmatsaha, from whom or whose life breath has gone away. So this is Vartikam as usual. Pradibhya dhatu jasya vacho va chotrapada lopaha. Same Vartikam we seen all the time. Then Nayana Vari is straightforward. Nayanayor Varini is the waters, means the tears basically. From or off the eyes. Means tears. Water of the eyes. Tears. Then Hastabhyam Arpitani, Hasta Arpitani. Also is, by the way, here this Arpi is the Puk Agamaha, because this is Ru is to go, but Arpi is to cause to go, means to offer. Samarpanam. It comes in Gita, very famous shloka of Gita. Yat karoshi yadashnasi, yat juhoshi dadasi yat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat krusha madarpanam, means offering to me. Amar arpanam samarpanam. So what's happening here is that there is this pukagama arti rivli. So that is the sutram 7336, I think. 7336. Like, like in Gita, ratham sthapayamechyuta. So basically these dhatus, arti, there should be no space here. Arti rivli riknu yikshmai yatam pugnau. So any adanta dhatu, like sthapayati, gapayati, dapayati, and then these arti, dhatu ru, then ri, vli, ri, knuyi, and kshmai. So these also. So there is, so these texts. So arti is there. So arpayat, arpi. So when dhatu ru plus nich, when you add, what happens is that it becomes, it takes the pukagamaha. Then you get pugandalakupas, gunadeshaha, purandapar, becomes arpi. Arpi. So that is how. So 7336. 36. Okay, let's go to shloka now. Just listen, vyakaranam over here. So, okay. Now there's one little complication here. So this is the Tingantam Padam Udda Harayatam. So Aharayatam. So Ud Aharayatam. This Lang Lakara straightforward. Take Dhatu R, add the Pratyaya Nich, becomes Hari because of the Vridyadeshaha. Achog Niti Uran Raparha. I didn't put all detailed steps in the document because this should be straightforward. Becomes Hari. Then you add the Pratyaya Lang, the usual step Lasya Tiptajji, and the Pratyaya is Tas. Then Tassastamipam Tam Tam Tamaha. So for the Nit Lakaraha, these Tas, Tas, Tha, and Mip becomes Tam, Tassastamipam Tam Tam Tamaha. So it becomes Tam, Tam, Ta, and So Tam, Tam. So basically Tas becomes Tam, Tas becomes Tam, the Ta becomes Ta, and the Mip becomes Tastastamipam Tam Tam Tamaha. So that will be in 3 dot. As we have said many times in the class, is that the Stiptas G are only defaults. Should always check the remaining of 3.4, and there comes the sutram, which is Nitaha. For Nit Lakaraha, the Tas, Tas, Tha, and Mip becomes Tam, Tam, Ta, and So become Tam Adesha, Tam Adesha. This is Dvitiya Dvivachanam, Pratham Purusha Dvivachanam, excuse me. Pratham Purusha Dvivachanam. Not Dvitiya, but Pratham Purusha Dvivachanam. I think I said before also I said Dvitiya. It's not Dvitiya. This is Tingantam. So this is Prathama Purusha Dvivachanam. Purusha Dvivachanam. And then of course Shap Pratyaya comes in there. So we get Hari, Shap, plus Tam, then Anubandha Lopaha, then Gunadeshaha becomes Hare, Atam, Echo Yava Yavaha, Hareyatam, and then Adagamaha. 36471. Lung Lang Ring Shudataha. Lung Lang Ring Shudataha. Lung Lang Ring Shudataha. Lung Lang Ring Shu Ad Udataha. So that's 6471. Lung Lang Ring Shudataha. Okay, so Udahara, so Dampatau Dampati, that couple, then Bahu Vilapya. Bahu is a Kriya Visheshanam here. Declared as Napumsakalinga Ditya Ekvachanam. So having lamented intensely, or greatly lamented many times, they had had the arrow pulled out, because they had the arrow pulled out from the chest, urastaha. And then the arrow has one nikhatam, which had dug into that. The arrow which was dug in, they had it pulled out. They had it pulled out. Udru is to lift up, but this is a causative. They had the arrow pulled out. And by the killer himself, by the killer. So prahartru, tritiya ekvachanam. So the sentence becomes now, so shishoho, you can say urastaha maybe, or shishoho shalyam. So that couple, having lamented greatly, they had the arrow which had dug in there, pulled out of their son's chest, of their child's chest. That we can take it like that. Now, or they can take the arrow of their son, means who was in the son's chest, they had it taken out. There's one thing over here is that, remember this thing we talked about is when you add up nishpratyaha, let's take a simple example. Gardhabaha, bharam harati, the donkey carries the weight. Now, let's say Manushaha, Purushaha, whatever. Purushaha, bharam harayati, he makes the donkey carry the weight. Now, what does the Gardhabaha vibhakti words we take? Do we say Gardhabam or Gardhabhena? Gardhabhena, I'm sorry. So Dakara, we won't take that. Gardhabhena. So what do we say? In English, we say the donkey carries the weight. The man makes the donkey carry the weight. In English, almost always, the Anikarta, the one who was the karta in the non-causative state, it's called Gardhabaha. Gardhabaha bharam harati. So in the non-causative state, the one who was the karta, what happens to him in the niyavasthayam? So now what should happen to him normally? Because remember that the anikarta does not lose his karta sanya. So even though the logic is that when the hetuhu comes, when the causation comes, then what happens is that the non-causative agent is still the agent, because he still technically has a choice to say no. when they say, so you can say putraha shastram adhite, right? You can say then pita putram shastram adhyapayati. So he teaches the boy the shastram. Now the boy can say, I don't want to do my homework, right? So he may not want to study. So the anikarta does not lose the katra sanya. Okay? But now he becomes anabhita, doesn't he? Because if you look at ud aharayatam. Now here this tam ending is pointing to the dual dampati. Correct? So now this prahartru. Okay, what will be the ani avastha here? Let me see, can Vain do it for me? Simple one. What do you think? What is ani avastha here? Try it, Vain. Remove the causation. Remove dampati out of it. I'll make it English for you. English is that the parents had the arrow taken out by the killer.
So the killer took out the arrow.
Very good. Killer took out the arrow. Then so what will be the ani avastha? You should always do this, but it's always a good exercise. You see the hetu, remove the hetu, see what the ani avastha. What is the ani avastha? I tried.
So prahartri.
No, praharta. Praharta. Okay. Shalyam. Udaharat. Udaharat means he took out. Shalyam udaharat. Now when the causation came.
Does it become udah? Harata? Oh, no.
No hari now, because the hari was the causative form.
Right.
It's only r. Right?
Okay.
So udaharata. So no more causation. This is non-causative form. So that was so we had praharta, shalyam udaharata. Now came dampati prahartra, titya ekvachanam. Shalyam udaharayatam. Okay, which is what the way should be, because this was the anikarta is the prahartru. Now, when the causative state, he is no longer abhita. He is no longer connected with the verb. The verb connects with the dampati now. So he is no longer connected, because the udaharayatam tells us nothing about prahartra. It tells only about dampati. So he is anabhita. Then what should happen to him? Should go in tritiya, which is the pratyakarna of tritiya. So this is tritiya is nothing surprising. In English, it's surprising. In English we don't do that. In English we normally say dvitiya only. So he made the killer take out the arrow. So you make somebody do something. So it's always dvitiya in English. We say kartakarana sthitiya is fine. But now comes the complication, is that Panini puts certain dhatus and certain meanings where instead of taking the tritiya, it gets the karma sanya. For today's class, we just looked at akatitancha, right? Gatiancha. This is the next sutra. Gati, buddhi, pratyavasanartha, shabda karma, akarmakanam, ani, karta, sarnau. Ani karta. Who was a karta in a non-causative state? He gets the karma sanya when inish pratyaya comes, but only the dhatu is one of these. Is gatyartha, buddhyartha, pratyavasanartha means either going, contemplating, thinking, or consuming, or shabda karma means like teaching. This is the shabda karma is like teaching, like Vedic chanting, whatever is teaching, and akarmakana. Okay, it's simple. So let's say balakaha pathashalam gacchati. So pita balakam pathashalam gamayati. He makes him go. You don't say balakena, do you? You don't say balakena. You say balakam gamayati. Of course, Upanishad statement, right? Asato ma asad gamaya. Correct? You don't say maya gamaya. You say ma asato ma asad gamaya. So on. So now gatyartha and so on. Anyway, this is all in the previous classes. The importance of the matter is this one. Rukroranitrasyam. Rukroho. So dhatu ru, which is what we have right now. We have right now dhatu ru. Same thing again. Whenever Panini mentions something specifically in a sutra, always pay attention to that. So Panini says rukroho anyatarasyam. Means can optionally take the object. Optionally, it will go to, it become stay as the agent. So what could have happened here? She could have prahartaram, could have become, isn't it? Because you have dhatu ru, of course, upasarga is there. I don't think it should change that. Could have been prahartaram, prahartra. So it could have been dampati prahartaram shalyam udaharayatam. The prahartra comes in the Ramayana in the very first sarga, right? Nalam setumakarayata. Sri Ramaha made Nalaha build the bridge. Nalam setumakarayata. Could have been Nalena also, because of Sutram. Rukroranyatarasyam. So it could have been Nalena setumakarayata. Nalam setumakarayata. Same thing here. Prahartara. Anyway, so today's class we have these two rules. One is akathitam cha. In kati buddhi pratyavasanartha shabda karmaka karmakanam mani karta sarnam. Okay. Alright. Let us now next part of the sentence is shashapa, of course, is the tingantam padam. Again the pratyaya null is come here, of course atupadhayaha. So vruddhaha tapasvi bhumipatim shashapa. There's one more sentence in here. Is saha putraha parasuhu abhut. The boy expired. The boy passed away. So parasuhu we are talking paragataha asavaha yasya saha. One whose lifeless have gone away. Abhut is a lung lakara, by the way. Now coming this Saturday class, lung lakara prakaranam. And in this book also, the next lesson is lung. So we're going to have a lot of fun with lung for the next month and a half. So as a precursor to that, we have today abhut. So you can hold on to that on the Saturday class, and also in this class we'll go through all the details. But the bottom line is that this is not lung lakara, isn't it? You should become abhavat. Abhavat. A simple way to learn lung is to, if you know your lung lakara well, lung. The lung lakara, the angakaram is same as in lat. So bhavati, so abhavat. Abhavat. So now abhut, it cannot be lung. So, but adagama is definitely there. So bhut. Of course, you have the atoro prutado plute. Atoro prutado plute. So you have that sandhi going on there by 61113. But abhut cannot be a lung lakara. Lung lakara would have been abhavat. Abhavat. So this is sandhi karyam. Atoro prutado plute. Atoro prutado plute. This is the one. So now, now what is this derivation of this one? Again, I have it in the class. I have it in document here. Did I put it here? I didn't put it here. Okay, abhut. So actually, we can go to our coming Saturday class notes, and here we're going to learn in this Saturday class. Let's see, where do I have it? Okay, in this coming Saturday class, we start with the lung lakara, lung, lung. And lung is a sutram itself in the bhuti adhikaraha. So lung is a default past tense. Then what happens is anadyatane lung. So if it's not of today past, then lung comes over paroksha lit. So lung, if there's any today component to the past, then lung has to be used. And so we start with bhu plus lung, anubandha lopaha, tiptashji as usual, anubandha lopaha, itashcha. So far is the same steps as in lung. But then what happens is that comes the sutram chililungi. When lung pratyaya for, then chili comes in there. Apavada for shap. Instead of shap coming, chili comes in there. And that chili takes the C143. It takes sich adesh. Chili is replaced by sich. So as a default, chili is not replaced by sich all the time, but as a default replaced by sich. So the sich comes. So we have now bhu plus chili plus ta become bhu sich plus ta. And the specific dhatu bhu, what happens is that this is a specific sutram now. Gatistha ghu pa bhubhya sichaha parasipadesh. Look at the number, by the way. Look at the number 2477. We have used 2471. We use all the time. Supo dhatu padavidikayoho. We use 2472. Adhipapradibhya shapaha. It's a look prakaranam. Look. Where do you look to find the look prakaranam? Is that you in the end of 2.4 is this starts from here look from 2458. So means sichaha look. So following when followed by a parasnipada pratyaya, parasnipadeshu, the pratyaya sich takes a look elision. Pratyaya look shulupaha, the entire pratyaya is gone. If preceded by this dhatu ga, which is a substitute for in gatau, or dhatu stha, or the dhatu which has a gusanya, dada gadap, dhatu pa, or dhatu bhu. So when the stitch pratyaya follows bhu and is followed by the prasnipadam, stitch takes look adesha, becomes a bhut. So the question, so there's a special sutram 2477, study in Saturday class in detail. Gatistha ghu pa bhupya sicha prasnipadesho. Now the question is that why no guna adesha? So sich is gone, but this because nalumata angasya, that's fine, but the tip pratyak should be guna adesha, sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho. But that is taught by the sutram. Look at the number 7388. 7384 is sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho, but that is stopped because this na nishedha. So bhu suvostangi, when this bhu or su is followed by a bhu suvos tingi, ting pratyaya, then the guna adesha is stopped. So we should have had sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho, that stopped bhu suvos tangi, and we get, and then of course adagamaha, lung lung rung shudadatta abhut. Okay, so what has happened here is that, one more time, is that the shap pratyaya does not come. Instead the chili comes, chili becomes sich by 314344. And in this case, the sich takes look elision because of 2477. Gatistha bhu Ghatsta Gupa Bhupyaha Sichaf Prasya Padesho. And then Gunadesha is started by Bhus was Bhus was Tingi. So Abhut. And so the boy expired. And then the old ascetic, he cursed the king. And he cursed the king, normally you have to offer some water, right? So Hastarpitaihi Nayanavaribhir Eva Shashapa. Rather than asking for some water, he cursed the king using the tears which are fallen, which are kind of offered, which had fallen on his hands. So by offering with his hands, Hastarpitahi, I'm sorry. So Hastaihi Arpitahi Nayanavaribhi. By offering the tears with his hands. So Hastaihi Arpitaihi Nayanavaribhi Eva. Sorry, Hastabhyam I should say, I'm sorry. Hastabhyam Arpitaihi Nayanavaribhir Eva Shashapa. So he simply cursed him just with using his tears, offering the tears with his two hands. So Hastarpitaihi, Hastabhyam Arpitaihi. Any Vyakaranam more left over here is Khata, Nikhatam. Nikhata Khan is to dig. Nikhata which is dug in there. Nikhatam. So now Khanu Avadarane is to dig or to tear. Khan we add the pratyaya. Kta when you add is nishtha, yeah, which are dug in there. So taktavatu. Now the in nishedha is coming by this Khanu is an udit. So the sutram which you have studied is that this we have seen in sequence many times is the dhatuhu. If it allows an idagama optionally anywhere, then that dhatu will not allow nishtha pratitik idagama. So this is sutram yasya vibhasha, very important sutram. Panini has 21 rules, to stop the idagama for the nishtha pratyaya, from 7 to 40 to 7 to 34. An important sutram is yasya vibhasha. If a dhatu, vibhasha, allows idagama optionally in any circumstance, then such a dhatu will not allow the nishtha pratyaya to take idagama. So by this udit dhatu, so then what happens is that uditova says that when the pratyaya ktva follows, then udit dhatu will allow an idagama optionally. So as long as the optionality is somewhere, that dhatu will not allow idagama for nishtha. So uditova is talking pratyaya ktva, taking idagama optionally, following a dhatu udit. But then what that means is that udit dhatu will now not allow idagama for the nishtha pratyaya. So it's a combination of uditova along with 7 to 15 yasya vibhasha. So then finally comes the akara desha. This is 6.442, the specific sutram. It is jana. I think we've seen this sutram before. It is jana sana kanam. The sutram, I think. Jana sana kanam sanjaloho. Pratyaya is jaladi pratyaya. Or if the pratyaya is san, then these three dhatus get the akara desha, at adesha. So jana like jataha comes in Gita. Jatasya dhruva mrityur, jatasya dhruva mrityur, jatasya. So jataha, so then khataha, same way. So 6.442, special sutram, these three dhatus take the akara adesha and followed by the pratyaya san, or by this jaladi pratyaya. 6.442 says that esham akaro anta adeshasya sani jalado kiniti also. Jalado kiniti. So pratyaya is kit or nit jaladi. So then it is sani jalado kiniti. So that's what happens. Now, okay. So it says ite sham anganam sani jalado kiniti. Sani jalado kiniti jalado pratyaya parataha. So that's what happens. Okay. Now, so it becomes khataha. So all right. I think we got the shloka now. So basically, is that the two husband, the couple had the arrow which had dug inside, removed from their son's chest, having lamented variously, intensely, a lot, and the boy expired. And then the aged ascetic cursed the king, by offering just the waters, these tears, with his two hands. So, okay, let me look at the translation. And we had some nice notes by Professor Devasara again. He says, let me look at this 70, read it out to you. He says that Udahareyatam is third person dual pratham purusha dvivachanam of the imperfect lang nakaraha of ud plus ru, causative. As soon as the dart was removed, the son expired, and the old father cursed the king. Now a curse is uttered after taking some water in the hand. With the present case, the tears that they wept served for water. Okay, and then the translation is as follows. It says that, let's see, is when there. Ready, Van? You try it? Let's see, it becomes
Yes.
Sorely grieving is
Vilapya. Bahu Vilapya.
The husband and wife.
Dampati. Tau Dampati.
So caused to draw out.
Udaharayatam.
Was caused the killer to draw out. The killer is
The killer Prahartra.
See, in English it became Dvitiya, you see. Became Dvitiya. That's the thing, is Dvitiya. Anyway, the shaft is
Shalyam.
From the breast
Urastaha.
of the boy, of the lad,
Shishoho.
who expired.
Ati.
Ati.
Parasuhu abhute.
Saha putraha parasura bhut. So the boy expired. Whereupon, I think is understood. No, atha. Whereupon. The old man,
Vruddhaha.
Cursed
Shashapa.
the king
Bhumipatim.
with the very water of tears. Is
Nayana Varibihi Eva.
that he had gathered in his hand.
Hastarpita is not gathered really, but
I think
he actually offered.
He offered, I would say that, right? Because hastabhyam arpitai, right? I think it is vititya. So I was taking it like first him just using the tears offered with his two hands, you know.
Right.
That's what I was taking it as.
Of course, understood it came.
I mean, same meaning. Same. Yeah. Okay, time is running out again. We spent a lot of time today on the one shloka, but I hope you enjoyed that. Let me just give you some homework and we'll stop. Dishtantam apsyati bhavanapi putra shokadante vayasyaham vivayeti tam uktavantam akranta purvam iva mukta visham bhujangam provacha kosalapatihi pratama paradha. Dishtantam apsyati bhavanapi. Your dishta is kalaha. Dishta is like destiny. Here it means it means which is dishta means shown, directed, ordained. So it is a time, destiny. So how about English? Dishta, destiny. Anyway, so dishtantam is kalaha. So dishtantam is kalasyantam is mrityum basically. So bhavanapi antye vayasi, in the last days of your life, in your old age, you will also die. You will also reach the end of your time. Putra shokad, out of grief for your son, you will also reach the end of your time. Like aham iva, like I have. Then iti, so this is the shapa, is that just like I have, you will also at the end of your life, you reach the end of you will go to the end of your time out of grief for your son. Means you will die basically out of grief for your son. Iti tam uktavantam. So thus, who had said to him, uktavat pradipadikum pratyavatu, so take for homework, samprasaranam by 6/115, vachi sapiya jajinam kiti, uktavat pradipadikum, of course, numagamaha buddhacham savanamastani dhatoho. So this, iti tam uktavantam. So one who had thus said to him, Then Kosalapatihi means Kosala is the name of Kosalanam Patihi. So the lord of the Kosala territories. Provacha. So the simple sentence is Provacha. So Dasharatha, who was the king of the Kosala territories, he said unto him, who had said to him, who had basically cursed him like this. Now this Kosalapati has an adjective, Prathama Aparadha. Aparadha is one who had committed the first offense. So the king was the one who had committed the first offense. Then comes the Upama Kalidasasya. So this Munihi, Tapasvi, he was like a Bhujangam. He was like a snake who had released his poison. So by cursing the king, it was like the snake basically biting. So this is the Tapasvi, by his curse was like a poison. So it was like a snake who had released his poison. Then Akranta Purvam Iva. So this ascetic was like a snake who had been stepped on previously and who had now released his poison. So sentence becomes that the king said to the ascetic who had thus cursed him that you will also reach the end of your time, just like I have, out of grief for your son. So the ascetic was like a serpent who had been previously stepped on and had now released his poison. And the king was the one who had first committed the offense. Okay, homework. Let's see, let's just look at the notes over here. Okay, homework is look at the Sutram 5384 for the form Antyam. Means Ante Bhavam Antyam. So once which occurs at the end. Say Halantyam. Pani Sutram Halantyam, right? We all know 133 Halantyam. Ending. Anta is end. Antya is ending. So which occurs at the end. Antyam. So look at 4354 for homework. And then after that comes the Dishtasya Kalasya. This is from Shabdakoshaha. Dishtaha can mean Kalaha. Daive can mean fate. Dishtam. So it can come like that. Then Uktavantam you can form pretty easily by looking at 32102 and then Idagama is stop by 7 to 10. This should be straightforward. Samprasara number 6115. And then Akranta Purvaha is a Sahasupa miscellaneous compound. It's called miscellaneous compound. It's neither a Tatpurusha nor a Karmadharya nor any of these. It's what comes in Gita Adrishta Purvam. So Akranta Purvam similarly. So we have done this in the class before. Then Akranta, look at the Sutram, again the same combination of Nisheda that we just did for the Khata. And look at 6415 for the Upadadhirgha. Nunasikasya Kvijjalo Kiniti. Upadadhirgha 6415. Then Muktam Vishamyena straight for compound. Then okay. Then Bhujangaha. Bhujangaha is the, look at the Sutram 3238 Vartikam. Gamehe Supi Vachaha. Bhujangaha. Similar to like, Turangamaha, the Khach Pratyaya, similar to that derivation. Kosalanam Patihi, Kosalapatihi. Prathamam Aparadha, again a similar miscellaneous compound. Aparadha is in the active sense by 3472, which is all the time. Okay, let's stop with that. Ramo Rajamanisada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachar Chamo Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Paranam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranam Tattalyam Ramanam Varanane Sri Ramanam Varanana Om Nama Iti.